let's talk about faith in humanity. You know, I've been thinking a lot about this lately, really sitting with it in my mind, because when you think of just losing faith in humanity, what do you think of? Like, if you lose faith in humanity because you think people are just scum, or people are reckless, and people are just so violent with each other, and people are so damn hateful anymore, you can't help but to think to yourselves, are we destined to destroy ourselves at some point? Think of all the militaries in the world. Think of all the things that cause people to be unhinged, that causes just a chain reaction of just violence and things of that nature, right? And you can't help but to think to yourself, like, can that eventually boil into us just ultimately destroying ourselves as a species? Is that a possibility? It's something that I've been thinking about. Is humanity just destined to destroy itself? Not in some Hollywood end of the world type way, not like that, but quietly and inevitably, because that's kind of what we do as a species. We destroy things. We destroy each other. We destroy wildlife. We destroy, some people might say we destroy our own planet through global warming, if you believe in that type of thing. If you think that's a real thing, or you disagree with, you know, climate change or whatever that might be. Like, every time, like, you look at the Mayans or the Maya, or Eastern Islanders, or the Bronze Age that collapsed, you kind of get a weird feeling that these were smart people. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the people that built these really nice pyramids in Egypt and stuff. Like, you can't help to think that these people were very intelligent, very smart individuals that were able to do these things thousands of years ago. You can't help but to think these are very smart people. They built incredible stuff. They had cities, they had writing, trade, art, and then one day it was just gone. Not because of some asteroid or alien invasion. It's because they ran out of water, or cut down the last trees, or fought over, you know, what was left, you know, and the whole system just kind of fell apart. And they probably thought we were too advanced for that to happen to them. That's probably what they were thinking. We're so far advanced as a tribe, or as a species. Like, back in those times, people just thought, hey, yeah, this is the way it's going to be, and that's it, right? And then all of a sudden, gone. Ancient civilizations gone. And you can't help to think, but how? Why? Why are those people no longer here? We tell ourselves, yeah, we're way too advanced as a species for that to even happen again. We've got satellites, we got vaccines, we have the internet, we have all this knowledge. But honestly, we're the first species that actually has the tools to end the whole experiment. And we're kind of casually using them. When you think about it, we use the internet every day. We have satellites all over the place. There's satellites outside of our homes for whatever, you know, internet satellites. We have satellites to space. We have nuclear weapons. We have a super advanced military, not just us, but all in some parts of the world. Like, we have all this crazy stuff. You know, you can't help but to think, like, wow, we are very advanced as a civilization, as a species. Let me walk you through just a few things that could end us as a species. And when you really sit there and you ponder on this stuff, it's really interesting. So I mentioned nuclear weapons. That's a big one. You hear nuclear a lot nowadays, and probably more so than you did during the Cold War. You hear a lot of nuclear this, nuclear that. We still have about 12,000 warheads on the planet. Not just us, but I think about 12,000 all over the world. I think that's a rough estimate. A lot of them are on hair-triggered alerts as well. Even a limited exchange between, let's just say, like maybe India or Pakistan. You guys remember that, when they were kind of having their feud there? That could kick off a nuclear winter. And if that's the case, like if a country goes to war with each other like that, what tends to happen? Crops die, billions of people starve. But it's not the most likely thing that could happen, but it's still on the table. Then there's engineered pandemics. Does that ring a bell? You have COVID. COVID was bad, but it wasn't designed to be as bad as it could have been. Today, though, someone with, you know, a decent lab decent lab skills could make something way worse, something more contagious like measles, or make something really lethal like smallpox. And then there could be an accidental leak of, intentional release. Either way, we could lose billions before we even understand what's happening. Remember when COVID was a thing? Still kind of is. People are still catching it. That we had no idea what that was going to turn into. We had no idea, like, the shitstorm that brought upon us. And you can't help but to think to yourself, like, shit, that could happen again. That could happen again. That's way worse, and could potentially have very devastating effects on us as the human race. If you move away from, nuclear weapons, advanced biohazard, or bioengineered, diseases and bacterial infections and viruses and things, you can't help but to think to yourself, and then there's AI. It keeps me thinking about how advanced AI is and the things that it's capable of. And I use it all the time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I use AI on a regular basis, and you probably do too. Some of you guys probably use AI a lot. It's very beneficial. It helps you out with your day-to-day tasks, especially if you're just trying to figure something out. AI is very helpful, but we're building systems that are going to be smarter than us, and probably sometime this century. The danger isn't Skynet, from Terminator with robot armies. It's that we create something that pursues its goals so effectively that we're just in the way. Imagine an AI told to maximize paperclip production or something like that. It doesn't hate us. It's not evil. It just turns everything, including us, into paperclips, because that's the objective. It sounds ridiculous until you realize we already have AIs optimizing for engagement and profit with zero regard for what that does to society. If you scale that end up, yeah, that's a problem. And it's all because of somebody's behind that, engineering that technology. There's a human touch to that. That's where it starts. So AI is scary. Not saying that we're going to turn into something like Terminator, and you're going to have, like I just said, like, you're not going to have a bunch of armies of AI robots just going around and totally annihilating the human race. Think of like other ways that AI could be very dangerous to us if we don't get a grasp on it and control it. Climate change. You have people talking about climate change and is like a slow burn version of climate change with the atmosphere and everything else. And people are projecting how climate change is going to destroy the planet, and we're slowly getting warmer, and the planet is cooling off. We're not as cold as we should be. Winters aren't as cold as they should be. Summers are extremely brutal and extremely hot. So you have people that will say that, and then you have winters like we have now, where it's like blistering cold and there's like feet of snow on the ground and everybody's trying to thaw out. And yeah, that's winter, right? That's winter time. And then summer, it's hot out. Summertime is hot, wintertime is cold, fall time is just right. But you have people that think that climate change is going to be the end all be all. And people tend to tell you that climate change is going to be the one thing that wipes this planet out. Now, whether you agree with me on that or not, I'm not a fan of climate change. I think that's just been a talk for years upon years and years and years, and we're still here. And by the time, I think that if we, as we talk right now, think that climate change is going to do something, which it should have killed us years ago. Planet should have been done and over with years ago, according to some climatologists. We should have died a long time ago. This planet should have died a long time ago, but we're still here. So when you add it all up, it's kind of heavy, right? It's like heavy on the mind when you really think about this stuff. So we're not being threatened by nature anymore. We're the threat. We are, us, people. We're the threat. We invented all these risks ourselves. But here's where I always pause and go, okay. But we've also done some pretty insane good stuff too. We've banned certain chemicals that were destroying maybe like the ozone layer, and science got more clear. We have better understanding of how things work versus 50 years ago, 25 years ago, technology wise. Like, we have a very, very well understanding of how things work. We have better scientists now. We have technology that can help us understand things better. We also have a very smart brain that can get us to not destroy ourselves, like to at least benefit us as a species. Like, we're way smarter today than we were 50 years ago. Just look at how much technology has changed. I mean, if you told somebody 50 years ago that you're going to sit in front of a camera and talk to thousands of people about your opinions on something, they think you're crazy. Like, what? You mean like watching the news? No, I'm talking like on a camera, on a computer that's built like this. It has this kind of power, blah, blah, blah. They think you're crazy. Like, yeah, wouldn't that be something? That'd be special, wouldn't it? Wow. That would be, wow, geez, I don't think we're ever going to get there yet. Here we are. Although we did think that we would have flying cars by now, but we don't. Elon Musk is working on that as we speak, I think. Probably within the next 10 years or so, we might have flying cars with him in charge. I don't know. We went to the moon with computers that had less power than my phone. We really did. We pulled back from the brink during Cold War more than once. You know, there was a few times where we almost went to nuclear war. We had nuclear war multiple times. We're capable of waking up when it matters. That's what I'm trying to say. When it matters, we're like, okay, we probably shouldn't do that. That's not a good idea. The difference now is the stakes are total. There's no oops. Let's try it again in 1,000 years. Like, this is it. We're so far advanced as a species with technology. Like, we can do it. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. It doesn't take much to destroy ourselves. So no, I don't think we're destined to destroy ourselves anytime soon. For me, I don't think we are. I think we're the first generation that actually has to decide on purpose. Like, we have to really sit back and think to ourselves, like, is that a good idea? But we can also get ahead of ourselves and not think of like, well, what could happen if we do this? Here's the outcome. We think of the worst in everything. Everything has pros and cons, right? And that decision isn't going to be made by some big heroic moment. It's going to be made by thousands of smaller choices that we do, or that we make. How we regulate AI, that's probably the biggest thing on the plate right now, is AI, artificial intelligence. That's something that is very, very advanced in comparison to what it was like 3-4 years ago. How seriously we are to take pandemic preparedness, so we don't have another COVID or any kind of like severe pandemic. How we prioritize like carbon, you know, that's a big deal. How do we talk to each other instead of screaming at each other? Learning how to talk to one another instead of trying to figure out how I can disagree with somebody's political opinion or somebody's opinion and then hate them for it because they don't agree with you. No, I hate that person now. You know, it doesn't take much to just set somebody off. It really doesn't. Right? And I think we all know that much. I'm not saying it's hopeless, that we're hopeless as a species. I'm saying it's on us right now while we still have time to choose differently. We still have time to make things right, to make things better. We have the ability to do all those things. But I think us as a human race, I think we're going to be here for a long time. And with the advancements of technology, I don't think we're going to go anywhere anytime soon. I think in the distant future somewhere, I think we are going to be very much alive. And by then we may have migrated to another planet someplace to continue the human race. So we don't end up being some part of some ancient civilization that once was. So are we destined to destroy ourselves? Yeah. We can't, like, we're not destined to destroy ourselves on purpose, but we have that capability to do it if we allow it to happen. And that, my friends, is the unofficial breakdown.